Hello, literary lovers, and welcome to the second installment of Poetry is Alive. Chris here again, and tonight I'm going to be reading you one that is timely for me, though hopefully not for you, as it is fairly grim. It's called Mental Cases by Wilfred Owen. Wilfred Owen was a pretty prolific poet around the time of World War I, and was noted for his realism and honestly, the grimdark nature in which he pursued poetry. He didn't leave really anything out, and he captured the time period pretty flawlessly. Unfortunately, kind of keeping in tune with the topics that he tended to grace, he perished a week before armistice was signed in World War I. Pretty grim, I know, especially for a Saturday night, but I hope that you find the absolute beauty in the poem, if still managing to recognize the horror and the sadness behind it. And without further ado, I give you Mental Cases. Who are these? Why sit they here in twilight? Wherefore rock they, purgatorial shadows, drooping tongues from jaws that slob their relish, bearing teeth that leer like skulls, teeth wicked? Stroke on stroke of pain, but what slow panic gouged these chasms round their fretted sockets. Ever from their hair and through their hands' palms misery swelters. Surely we have perished sleeping, and walk hell. But who these hellish? These are men whose minds the dead have ravished. Memory fingers in their hair of murders, multitudinous murders they once witnessed. Waiting sloughs of flesh these helpless wander, treading blood from lungs that had loved laughter. Always they must see these things and hear them. Batter of guns and shatter of flying muscles, carnage incomparable and human squander, rucked too thick for these men's extrication. Therefore, still their eyeballs shrink tormented back into their brains, because on their sense sunlight seems a blood smear, night comes blood black, dawn breaks open like a wound that bleeds afresh. Thus their heads wear this hilarious, hideous, awful falseness of set, smiling corpses. Thus their hands are plucking at each other, picking at the rope knots of their scourging, snatching after those who smote them, brother, pawing us who dealt them war and madness.